Hey everybody, and welcome to Remo'S Real Review of Doom 2016 release. A retake, a reimagining, a new perspective on the Doom franchise. It was brought to you by... So the new Doom is developed by id Software, the makers of the original Wolfenstein, the innovators of the first-person shooter, the creators of the original Doom series 1 and 2, which that is what popularized and got everybody playing the first-person shooters. Wolfenstein was a great game. A lot of people played it, but Doom was what really put it out there in the populace. And then Quake, the first-person shooter that revolutionized multiplayer and made everybody want to play together. Such a great game. These guys made some of the best first-person shooters, especially the original first-person shooters. We would not have these games that we love today. We would not have the FPS genre at all, actually, if it wasn't for id Software and what they created back then in the day. It's also published by Bethesda, which, come on, man, I love their games. Elder Scrolls, Fallout. To me, they can't go wrong, but that's just me. But, even though I say they can't go wrong, every company can always have a goose egg or a shit stick. What I mean by a shit stick is something that's really, really god-awful and has no need to be made. Like shit on a stick. So, we gotta be cautious, we gotta go into this. Now, this game, the beta came out, everybody fucking hated it. Everybody hated it. Thought it was the worst goddamn thing ever. But I also saw the E3 and PAX footage of the campaign, and I had hopes. I had a lot of hope, you know. Bethesda's publishing it, you know, id, the masters of the original first-person shooters, are creating it, so I'm gonna give them some leeway. I saw what I liked in the campaign, so I gave it a shot. I actually pre-ordered it. Now let's talk about the original Dooms. Beloved, beheld games that were great. It's what got everybody playing first-person shooters. Dark atmosphere, awesome premise with demons coming and a space marine just kicking ass. Wink wink, that's where the entire whole idea of having a space marine kick ass in a first-person shooter came from, for everything to copy later on in life. The music was amazing. So fast-paced, so energetic, you just had to keep moving or you were dead. Without the original Dooms, first-person shooters would not be popular. They would not be what they are today. Hands down, period. You can try to argue me on this point, but you know it's true. So where does this new Doom, this new reimagining, this new take on it, fall in line with the original Dooms? Fuck, it's more like the original Dooms than any of the new first-person shooters out there. So fast-paced, you can't quit moving just like the originals, or you will be swarmed by an intelligent AI, pretty much, that will just converge on you in a heartbeat until you limb from limb. Literally limb from limb. There's been some moments in death where body parts of mine were just flying all over the screen or my guts were hanging out. It's just so intense that every moment you have to just look from corner to corner, keep moving, pacing back and forth. You don't know what's coming up behind you. You don't know what's coming from your side. You just got to keep moving and you got to keep shooting. And I love the upgraded looks of the demonic evil that you have to take the fuck down. Oh, they look so badass. It's such an inspiration from the originals. These are the same enemies, just brand new page down, thrown into this new graphical age we're living in video games, and it just kicks ass. Because the original Doom, like we know, inspired by fucking heavy metal and rock music, man, and the whole demonic presence. Who cannot remember the awesome cover for the original Doom, man? Looked like a damn rock album. Also, another cool thing that I've gotten sick of over the years is, oh, you can just hide behind a rock for 3 seconds or on the side of a building and all your health comes back. Not in the new Doom. They take the old school approach. You better conserve your health. You better watch the fuck out, and you better dodge bullet hell, or your ass is gonna die faster than anything. Health is few and far between. Usually you'll get it after you clear out an entire area, or the glory kills will give you some life. We'll get into that in a little bit. Also, your shield does not regenerate. You have to go and find shield parts and upgrade and this and that, and that's what I love, man. It's not holding your fucking hand. You're not just gonna sit like a baby in a corner somewhere, shake and shiver until your health bar comes back up or your shield. You gotta kick some ass, take some names, and keep your ass alive. Ain't no holding hands here. Oh my god, and the weapons are fucking amazing. They brought back the original Doom weapons with a little bit of a twist and upgradability, and boy, does the VFG kick ass. And nothing feels better than taking that double barrel shotgun to a demon's face and blowing his head to kingdom come. Just pieces and body parts flying all over the goddamn screen. They even bring back the dreaded key card. Now, a lot of people back in the day started to get sick and tired of the key cards and having to search and look around to progress. Well, guess what? They brought back the key cards and they made it work, for God's sakes. It's not too hard to find. It's there. You just gotta look a little bit. Sometimes not even really look. You just gotta clear a section and get to it. But it actually works. You need to progress, and it's a good way of doing it. And they made something that I hated from back in the day actually fucking work for me. Now the soundtrack. God damn, this is a hard-kicking soundtrack, and I love the fuck out of it. Just like the originals, and we all know how the story goes. The original Doom kind of took all the real awesome heavy metal and rock songs and did a little digitized version of them. Like, we're talking Ozzy and Metallica and Slayer. Like, they did that, and they got away with it. But it made the original Dooms awesome. Dun, 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 dun. Just, God. And they brought back the same feel, man. You enter a room with 30, 40 demons breathing down your neck, all ready to rip you to pieces and shred your skin from your bones. That music kicks in, and it's time to go into overdrive and kick some major ass. Now, you can tell id Software said, you know what? We're going to show real love to the properties that we created back in the day. We're going to show real respect, and we're going to create a real successor to these first two games. Not that shitty version of Doom 3 that nobody really liked, but an actual great, great game that follows in the shoes of it, but adds so much more and updates it for a new generation and in a new time with new technology. They really paid respect to the original ones while moving it forward. So let's get on to the part that everybody hated in the beta and didn't want to give this game a shot in the hell for, the multiplayer. It's not that bad. It's just like most, has a ton of customizable stuff, just like most new games nowadays. It actually has quite a fair amount of it, actually, to be honest. Feels like Halo 2, Halo 3 type combat, which people wanted to rag on that idea, but don't forget those two games made multiplayer in the modern age for first-person shooters what it is. Like, I got sick of multiplayer, but back in the day, Halo 2, Halo 3, the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that's where it was at. And this feels like a Halo 2 or Halo 3 multiplayer. So, not bad. You could say it's a little dated, but it's more than adequate. And we got the share maps, which is kind of cool. I start checking them out. There are people making single-player maps, co-op maps, just straight-up multiplayer maps. You can do a lot of really cool things with them. I've even seen, like, parkour maps, man, trying to get you to go all out. That's not a bad little idea. I mean, it doesn't make or break the game, but it adds in some replayability, which will come into play once you beat the game a few times. Now let's talk about the difficulty of this game. Boy, does this fucker ramp up by the end. I played it on, let's see. Didn't play it on easy, didn't play it on that. I played it on Hurt Me Plenty, which is 2 more difficulties above that. Which one I hear if you die once, the entire progress of your game is completely wiped the fuck out. So they're not fucking playing. But on Hurt Me Plenty, I really didn't have too much trouble. I died 2 or 3 times, just not being careful. But man, that last stage really tried to kick my ass. And up to this point, I only used the BFG maybe once or twice just for the kicks of it. Man, at the end of that last stage, that BFG becomes your godsend. Without it, you would be fucked. It's brought down to you by the angels above. And boy, when that thing goes off in a herd of demons, wait for something spectacular to happen. Now that end boss, holy shit, if you did not have that BFG, you were fucked from the get-go. And they work it in and integrate it very well into that boss fight. At first, I didn't know what the hell I was doing and noticed those little pickups that I hadn't been picking up since I hadn't been using the weapon, so I never realized what they were for. Well, boy, did those come in fucking handy. So at the end of the day, where do we rate this game? I heard a lot of critics are starting to rate it super high, which is good because this game deserves its time in the spotlight. A lot of people wanted to hate on it in the beginning, and it had bad sales for the first couple days it came out. First week, really. Because, well, everybody played the beta and didn't like it at the multiplayer, which was a tremendous bad idea on id Software and Bethesda. You should have put out one. Well, I know you thought the share map was, an integral part, but you should have put out a review demo of it with just like the first 2 stages, and everything would have been gravy. But you didn't, and that's where all the backlash came from because of bad marketing. This game, it's not for everybody. If you like first-person shooters, this is something you should definitely give a try. If you're into multiplayer only, and the whole bro culture, it might not be for you, man. I sat there, I had some fun with it, but that's not the main focus of this game. If you want a good first-person shooter with a great campaign, bringing it back, this is it. This will have you on the edge of your seat, your toes curled, and you're ready to kick some ass. Especially if you put it up on one of those higher difficulties. It actually has a story to it, unlike the original Doom. But they put it in there in a nice little even way. For people who don't give a shit, they don't have to worry about it. For people who want to get into it, like myself, I found myself, which in most games, especially first-person shooters, I don't read any of the little bullshit that comes along with it. I'm just there to shoot. And this one, I was reading every little extra tidbit I would get. So it's there for you if you want to get it. So if you want to play a great campaign single player with some added little features and bonuses with the multiplayer and the share maps where you can make your own maps, go co-op, do whatever you want in it, this is definitely a game you should pick out. Especially if you're a lover of the old school style shooters and of the original Doom series. Because it's just that, just revamped and thrown in to work in a new day and age. And God, is it kick-ass. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. That's my honest opinion. Nobody paid for me to play this game. Nobody sent me a copy. I'm just a poor white boy trying to do it. All on my own lonesome. I actually wanted to make sure that I beat the entire game and gave you guys a true, honest review before I even put this out. That's why the game's been out for about a couple weeks, and now you're just getting it. So hopefully this helps you in determining what you want to do with it, if you want to get it. If you don't, definitely if first-person shooters aren't your thing, don't go for it. Especially if, you are into them, but multiplayer is the only thing you do on them. You might want to stay away. You might dig it because there is a lot of customizable features. You can actually turn into these demon bosses and rip the entire team to shreds in a heartbeat if you want. But if you want a good campaign, you want action pack, and you want a little bit of a difficulty, this is a game for you, man. You should give it a try. If you dig this video, you'll probably dig the next review. So stay tuned for more.